229.2. So I lost 3.6 pounds from the last episode. I was 232.8. My lowest weigh-in was 225, so we're just trying to get back to that. But enough about my physique. In this episode, I want to give you guys some tips and tricks to make dieting easier for you. New Year's is right around the corner, so a lot of people have resolutions, weight goals that they're trying to achieve. So my number one tip to you is make sure that you add volume to your food. Make sure that you're eating a good amount of food. So the first way you can do that is by adding peppers, onions, just adding veggies in general to your diet will add more volume. You will be eating more food overall without adding a bunch of extra unwanted calories. So I have eggs in the morning pretty much every single morning, but instead of having eggs by themselves, I like to saute some peppers, onions, some spinach, and then make my little omelet, or not really an omelet because I'm too impatient to make an omelet, so I pretty much just scramble everything together. I have about 5 egg whites here and 1 whole egg. Egg whites obviously have less calories than a whole egg, which is like an egg white is like 20 calories, a whole egg is like 80 to 90 calories depending on the size. Added some fat-free cheddar here. That's only another 40 calories, adds 9 grams of protein. And yeah, man, the number one tip is volume. Stay away from high calorie dense foods. Stick to more low calorie foods. Stay away from the whole eggs. Stick to egg whites. Add some onions and peppers to your food. Puts more food on your plate, makes you feel more full while keeping your calories low. Next part of my breakfast, I got a wrap, heating that up in the pan, just browning up both sides, toasting it a little bit. These wraps are pretty good. They're like 50 calories for one little wrap. They're not the best tasting. I actually switched to a different version from a different brand that actually tastes a little bit better. That one is 70 carbs. You're gonna see 70 calories. You'll see that later on in the video. But this is the finished product. I got my oatmeal with my bananas, pretty much a staple every morning. This is my typical breakfast, probably 3 to 5 times out of the week. It fills me up. It tastes great. And I mean, what else do you want, especially on a diet? You're not going to be having like eggs and cheese and bacon and grits on a diet. You want to feel full and satisfied. That's the best way to do it, man. Stick to low calorie foods that are going to fill you up, and you'll lose weight and feel full at the same time. That's the goal. That's all we're aiming for here. Next meal is going to be a fried rice with some leftover chicken, starting off with some steamed broccoli. Now this pot is a magical pot. You put water in the bottom, you put broccoli in the top chamber that looks like a strainer, and then you put the lid on and it just steams your broccoli. Now you want to steam it to the point where it's just cooked and still crunchy. You don't want to have mushy broccoli because we're going to saute it in the pan, and mushy broccoli really doesn't stir fry well, and we're not going to saute, we're going to stir fry. I guess I really can't call it stir fry because I'm using the same pan as earlier today. If it was stir fry, it would be a wok, but I don't have a wok, so there you go. Added half a serving of olive oil. I didn't measure it. I've just been doing this so long. I know what half a serving of olive oil looks like, so trust me, that is half a serving. Gonna put the steamed broccoli and the cut up carrots and onions in the pan. Put about 150 grams of leftover brown rice, only 150 grams. Now, if you know anything about rice or measuring your food, 150 grams is not a lot of rice. But this, adding the vegetables and all that stuff in there is gonna make it seem like more than what it is. But again, another way to add volume while keeping your calories low. We're gonna add some soy sauce after everything is nice and sauteed and caramelized, or whatever the chefs use, whatever their terminology is, caramelize onions and peppers, and the rice is nice and reheated. You add some soy sauce in there, low sodium, just keep the sodium low, and then voila, the finished product. After everything is sauteed together, you got some fried rice there, some ghetto fried rice. Now we're gonna reheat some chicken that was left over in the pan, because heating things in the pan is better than the microwave. And finished product, you got some fried rice with some sriracha, chicken with some teriyaki, and enjoy. The calories are on the screen. Once again, you get to see my ugly face enjoying the heck out of some food. Trust me, this recipe like is one of the recipes I always go to, especially when trying to make my food taste good. You know, leftover chicken breasts, brown rice, and broccoli in some Tupperware heated up in the microwave isn't the best tasting thing, so this is your alternative right there. Try it out. Trust me, you'll love it. Moving on, did a chest and back workout about 2 hours later, starting off with some bench press, doing 185 for about 4 sets of 10 reps. I think one of these sets I actually hit 11 or 12 reps, but I didn't record it. I'm not trying to record every set. As long as you see every exercise I'm doing, that's, you know, you get the point of the workout. You don't really need to see every set. That kind of gets redundant. You're not gonna sit here and watch me do 4 sets of this and 4 sets of that. So there's one set. I believe that was like my second or third set. Then I moved on to some lat pull downs. Now but look at the tempo that I'm using. As I come down, I pause and slowly release. Now this is gonna keep tension on my back throughout the duration of the movement. And also you want to make sure that you're lifting a weight that you can stick to the proper form. You know, you don't want to lift weights that's too heavy and then you're overcompensating, you're moving around a lot, you're pulling the wrong muscles, because that's going to lead to injury, and also you're not really working out the muscle efficiently, so you're not going to get stronger as effectively as you would as if you were doing the weight proper form. You're not going to see the gains that you want to see if you're not doing things with proper form. Here I did a set to failure. Wow, I did a set to failure. That was incline dumbbell press, and then I moved on to some bent over rows. If you can see the kind of like pattern of the workout, I do a chest, a back, a chest, a back. So this is the 4th exercise, some bent over barbell rows. Again, you want to stick to a weight where you can have pretty decent form. Here you see me jerking a little bit, but a little bit of jerk is not that bad for you. No sexual innuendo intended or anything like that, and whatever. Next, moving on to some chest press superset with some rows. I do 8 exercises. I like to stick to high volume, so I like to do a lot of supersets because it keeps me in and out the gym as quick as possible. If I did all 8 exercises individually, I'd probably be in the gym for an hour and 45 minutes. But this workout, surprisingly enough, from first move or first exercise to last exercise was only about an hour and 10 minutes. You know, keeping the workout pretty short. Like an hour and 10 minutes is not a lot of time, in my opinion. If I'm doing everything right, time just flies by. And I did this superset for 4 sets, going for about 10 to 15 reps each exercise. Then the last superset that I did is we're gonna finish off the workout with some flies, some cable flies. Again, you want to do about 12 to 15 reps here. I like to keep the rep range between 10 to 15. That's what I'm enjoying nowadays. I used to do like 5x5s on the heavy exercise, but you know, more about that later. Move on to some flies. Like I said, rear delt flies with dumbbells. And you're gonna do this superset for 3 sets and go for 12 to 15 reps each exercise. That's how I finished off the workout. Then did my 25 minutes of cardio, 388 calories burned. Who knows how much calories? These machines are not the most accurate. Even if I put in my weight and all that, you see I actually did the cardio. I didn't just like lie to you and, you know, record some time on a machine. Drink your water, stay hydrated. And on to the post-workout meal. Now I have a smaller meal than before, just because, I don't know, the breakdown of my food. That's just how it ended up being that day. Boiled a potato. Then I took the boiled potato, which was already previously boiled from the day before, and pan fried it. Cut it up, pan fried it with some cooking spray in a pan. I didn't have to do that, but tip number 2 on dieting is to do what it takes to make your food taste a little bit better. Now I could have had a boiled potato with microwave chicken, but instead I did the same. I cut up the boiled potato, you know, fried it with some cooking spray, and did the same for my chicken to make it taste a little bit better. Taste and volume are the 2 biggest tips that no one really ever talks about when they tell people to diet. But yes, make sure your food tastes good. Make sure you're eating a lot of food that are low in calories, and your diet will be a lot more successful. Trust me. After having that meal, I realized I didn't have enough fats in my diet for today, so I had a slice of bread toasted with about 2/3 of a serving of almond butter. Then my last meal, those are those low carb wraps that I was talking about. And honestly, some things about today that I didn't like, Halo Top, that pistachio flavors actually fire, have that whole thing. Two things that I would have done differently is not had as much wraps, or just like stayed away from like high fiber things, because I had a lot of fiber at the end of the day. But those are my tips to you. Hopefully, if you're starting a diet anytime soon, you take this advice and incorporate it into your diet, because trust me, it helps a lot. Stick to high volume foods that are low in calories, and make sure your food tastes great. Best of luck to you on any goals that you have for the new year. I hope they go your way. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you really enjoyed, and thanks for watching, man.